So today we are talking about the water cycle, and not just the water cycle, we are talking about the next step in the water cycle. Our EQ for the water cycle is how do black and brown cultures interact with water? And what we're focusing on today is I can analyze the sun's role in evaporation and transpiration. So before we get started, let's take some deep breaths. Breathe in with the ball, inhale as it goes up, and exhale as it goes down. Very good. All right. So, what do you already know? What is evaporation? Well, evaporation is when water heats up enough and it begins to rise. It turns from a liquid to a gas. Evaporation is when water turns from a liquid to a gas. What I want you to do is take a second and play the vocabulary game. I'm going to keep going in this video, and we're going to go back to reviewing evaporation. Evaporation is when particles move faster and they have enough energy to spread out and rise. So we see the sun heating the iceberg, and the water from that iceberg that melts is starting to rise. Any collected water is going to gain thermal energy by radiation from the sun. Okay? Heat and water. So they're going to move faster, they gain heat energy, and it's going to begin to evaporate. Anytime liquid water gains heat energy, it's going to start to evaporate once it gets to that boiling point, right? Once it gets to the point where it can start to boil, that temperature, it's going to start to evaporate. Now today we're focusing on transpiration, also known as evapotranspiration, but we'll get to that in just a second. Transpiration is when plants let water out of their holes. The green plants, not just any color plants, green plants. So if you look at a green leaf, the back of it has these little holes called stomata, and they let water, extra water, out of those holes. It's kind of like plant sweat. If I had to call transpiration one thing, it would be like plant sweat. The water gains heat and begins to evaporate out of the holes in the leaf. That's why we call it sometimes evapotranspiration. Okay, it's the same thing. You can call it evapotranspiration or you can call it transpiration, but it's when the water comes out of the holes in a leaf. Again, that water gains heat and begins to evaporate out of the holes in the back of a leaf called stomata. It comes out of the holes in the back of a leaf called stomata. Right now, what I need you to do is go straight to do your exit ticket, and then we'll get started and start talking in just a minute. Take care. Bye-bye.